Welcome back, y'all. My name is Alina, and my husband and I hate our six-figure student loan debt, and we're on a journey to pay it off. Today's budget with me is our income from December 1st, carrying us through December 7th, the first week of the last month of the year. So we've been away, long story, and eventually I'm sure we'll share what happened, but I figured now was a good time to get back on the wagon. So my husband got paid from his part-time job at an after-school program. If you're new, my husband is a high school math teacher, and he does this part-time job 3:30 to 6:30 after school. So he brought in $778.23. He also has a YouTube channel, and he got a payout for that for $152.60. So for rollover, we had $1,433.65. And I say rollover, this is just income from previous weeks that we haven't spent. That was just kind of sitting in the bank. So add all that up, and the total income for this week is $2,364.48. Going to the expenses, giving $85, groceries $175, gas we're doing $70, because thankfully gas is still low right now, at least under $3, like where we're at. And I actually have a 10-cent off per gallon reward with Kroger. It's a grocery store around here, and Oren actually doesn't think it matters, but I mean, I think it makes a difference. So when we get gas, most of the time anyway, we try to do this at the end of the week. So we get it like Saturday morning or Sunday after church because it's on the way. So we take separate cars and we park at different pumps, but right next to each other. So like the pump's in the middle, one car here, one vehicle there. And he uses the same gas handle for my car, and then kind of comes over and uses that handle for the van. So we're kind of save money there on, like, I guess taxes, if you had to, like hang up the handle and then do another one, if that kind of makes sense. All right, so rent is also due today, December 1st. So if you're new, we live in a 2-bedroom apartment in Nashville, Tennessee, and we're not in the city, but around it, close enough. So with fees in this area and rent, it comes to $1,765.95, which I was listening to the Ramsey show yesterday, per usual, and someone called in saying how his car payment was $1,700. I think that's what it was. It was either $1,700 or $1,800, something like that. And it was a truck. And I was just blown away because basically, that's a rent payment for us. But granted, this caller made a significant more amount of money than we do. So in his world, it's not that bad, but still, it's interesting to see this number in context. And I don't want to complain about where we live. I don't want to do that. But that being said, our lease is up in September, and we're hoping and praying for our next place to be an actual detached house. So that's, there's a little more value that comes when we're paying rent each month. All right, water is $81.90. Car insurance is $126.65. So if you're new or just, forgot because, it's been a minute, we have a '05 van that's still kicking. And then we have a 2011 SUV that's kind of starting to show its age too, actually. So, but hopefully they both can hang on through the end of this debt-free journey, and we can just keep them running. This right here is homeschool PE. So we pay for our children to participate in a once-a-week PE program. We have a 7-year-old and a new little 5-year-old. So the program is $50 per month. That's for both of them. All right, so here we go with the holiday stuff. I'll update y'all on Thanksgiving and birthdays and all, because starting October, that's when things kind of went downhill, because we had birthdays, well, yeah, 2 birthdays, Thanksgiving, well, 3 birthdays, Thanksgiving, and it's just, you know, a little much. So anyways, it's been rough with all the extras or these special days, and we had a strict no policy. Like we're just saying no to everything and doing everything very minimal as far as celebrating. But I guess we just had a hard time with the scorched earth thing, like scorched earth, everything. Like that it was a little difficult. And we still didn't do a lot, but we've been doing something. So this party is for another 1 day a week group. It's a potluck. And obviously we can't roll in empty-handed. So we've been part of this particular group for, this is our 3rd year. The first year I made these cranberry bars, and then I made a blueberry bar, 2 trays of these oatmeal fruit bars. And then last year I did mac and cheese bites, basically macaroni and cheese in little mini muffin cups, little bites, for the kids. All complicated, all pricey, I was doing it in the morning. So needless to say, we were late getting out the door. This year, no, I'm just doing cheesy bread and some marinara dip. That's it. And I'm making the bread. So just, yeast, flour, salt, Italian seasoning, butter. I'll get some sliced Munster cheese from Aldi or something. So the budget for that is $15. And I better not go over that. For whatever reason, I tend to go over for these things, overboard. So we'll see what happens. Oil change, the van is in need. So $70 for that. Then another group is doing another thing. And it's a gift exchange, which, again, I really don't want to do. But they set a $10 limit. So I guess it's all right. But with my 2 children, we need $20, 10 for each of them. Still, I'm not that thrilled about it. And I hate to sound like a Scrooge. I really hope I'm not. But it's just a little unsettling that I am prioritizing these, and I don't even buy gifts for my own family. Our children, that's it. But as far as, parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, we haven't done that in the past 3 or 4 years. And yet, we're getting gifts for these people. So, I don't know. Again, the Ramsey Show had an interesting discussion the other day about buying gifts for people. Obviously, adults, you don't need to prioritize them. And one of the personalities, Jade, I guess she wrote an article about it, but she talked about how one thing she talked about anyway, is that people who aren't in your immediate circle, you don't live with, you don't see every day, that you don't need to prioritize a gift for them. Because, they're they're 4 or 5 states away. And that's the people who I would be getting things for. So maybe it's okay that I'm not doing that, but still. So yeah, besides the gift exchange, it's another potluck, which is on Friday, which will turn over our new pay period. So I'm not worried about budgeting for my contribution to that potluck. I really don't know what I'm bringing yet anyway. So we'll see how that cheesy bread goes. I might just, run that back and do that again. But yeah, we'll use next week's paycheck for that. So it's the gift exchange, it's potluck, and they're also caroling, which, you know, my kids would really enjoy. And obviously, you know, being homeschooled, there's so much pressure, at least for me, to get them these experiences. Otherwise, you know, people think my kids stay locked up all day, every day. So, I don't know. We may cancel this. We may just not go. We will see. And then buffer is the normal $10. Add up all the expenses, and it comes to $2,474.60, which is larger than our income. We are officially in a deficit. And I wanted to show it. I mean, this isn't news to me. I knew that. But I want to show it to show that this happened because we weren't setting aside, you know, little by little throughout the month for our biggest expense, which is rent. This is kind of why this happened. We weren't setting aside, and obviously we weren't making, you know, enough money. You know what I mean? We haven't been making, I guess, enough money for a long time, and our solution has just been setting things aside. But, you know, we can't make it, like I'm just showing that our budget doesn't work unless we do that, unless we're super diligent. So we haven't been budgeting for the past few months because of some issues that I'll have to explain later. I hate to be so vague, but this is what happens. And so we are short $110.12. It's not that much, but still. So to fix it, I'm going to pull the oil change, this $70. I'm going to pull that from our emergency fund, and I'll just have to replenish it when we can. And the remaining 40 something dollars will come from our self-employment tax fund. You know, we keep this old fund throughout the year when my husband does, you know, these jobs, and they don't take taxes, so we set aside, I think it's like 15% or something like that. We'll pull some money from that. You know, unfortunately, you know, we can, or hopefully we can replenish that before taxes are due next year. Or maybe not as much taxes will be due. Either way is our only option right now. You know, we need the money. I mean, unless, you know, I could cut $40 worth of things here, which is definitely possible, but I'm just want to pull the money for now. And then obviously nothing is going towards debt in this pay period. And this is not a zero-based budget, unfortunately. So this is how it is getting back into things. We have paid off debt these past few months, and I am excited to share that soon, but nothing this week. Still, we're just going to keep going, and I hope the same for you, that wherever you are on your debt-free journey, keep at it.